Minnesota to Hawaii to California, Massachusetts, and everywhere in between. I know live stream people, you are joining us from all over. We love you. We are with you in spirit. We are your community. We support you, and we cannot wait to see your films. As you can see, we've got a ton of people here. How many, for my New York people, how many filmmakers are here? Yeah. And I know also we have judges, we have sponsors here. We have Jandis from Sundance. Where are you? We have Eric from Solar Productions. We have Anthony Wong from REK. I'm going to let Andy do all the intros for the judges and the sponsors. She's going to tell you all about the prizes. I'm Jennifer Betit. I'm the president of the Film Lab, and normally at this time I would tell you all a little bit about what the Film Lab is and what we do, but since you're mainly filmmakers and sponsors and judges, you already know, so I'm going to skip it. However, if anybody doesn't know who we are and what we do, find me, find Andy, find anybody with Lana, find anybody with a name tag, and we'll be happy to tell you why we are the best entertainment nonprofit in the world. Bold words, what I will do is I'm going to give you guys a little hint about the theme of this year's shootout. I'm going to tell you, just get your brains percolating a little bit for the filmmakers. So at 8 p.m. tonight, the amazing Andy will be announcing the theme of this year's shootout, at which point the clock starts ticking. Filmmakers will have 72 hours within which to complete films based on that theme. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the genesis of the theme so you can start kind of, thinking about what you're going to do. All right, so I'm going to start with a personal anecdote. If you're ever so bored, like beyond belief bored, and you decide to Google me, I don't know why you would do it, but let's just pretend, just for the sake of this hypothetical, you Google me, you're going to find out in about 1 nanosecond that I'm an animal lover. So for me, that means that I do everything from support legislation, to protect animals from abuse, to choices in my own individual private life. Like, I don't eat animals, I don't wear them. And so I belong to several animal welfare organizations. Okay, so what? Who cares, right? On its face, that has nothing to do with the Film Lab. It has nothing to do with the 72-hour shootout. Film Lab and 72-hour shootout, we focus on racial and gender parity in entertainment media, on enhancing and promoting the representation of Asian Americans, women, people of color, LGBTQ, underrepresented groups to create equality in film and television. But early this year, those two worlds collided. And they collided in a way that made us think very long and hard about what this year's theme was going to be. So in early 2023, some of you may remember, Film Lab had commissioned a project called DiscrimiNATION, capital N-A-T-I-O-N. You get the play on words, we're so clever. We collected stories around the country about the anti-Asian hate that was sweeping the nation during and post-COVID. We collected stories from victims, stories from witnesses, and yes, even stories from perpetrators. Those stories were heartbreaking, and it was emotionally very challenging to curate them. That was going on the Film Lab side. On the personal side, one of the animal welfare groups I belong to started sending me videos of absolutely legal actions taking places in slaughterhouses around the country. In one that is seared into my memory, there's a little lamb, battered and broken. She's bleeding and she's trying to get up off the floor, screaming for her mother, and then she's slaughtered in agony and wrapped in cellophane. Those videos certainly raised my awareness about what is legal to do to animals in this country, but they also made me feel very helpless. There's nothing I can do to help that lamb in that video, and they gave me nightmares, honestly, for weeks. So that was the personal side. Then on the national side, and I'm sure everybody in this room remembers this, a promising young black man, by all accounts, very nice person, a talented photographer named Tyree Nichols, was brutally beaten by police officers. The police officers committed acts upon him that other police officers described as defying humanity. The beating resulted in his death, and that the video of the beating circulated online. And Film Lab was one of the many groups that shared it in an effort to raise awareness about violence against people of color. But around that same time, mental health professionals began to go public, suggesting that people might not want to watch the video. And I have a quote from one of them. They said, hold on, I did. They said, it is important to bear witness and to acknowledge what happened, but that doesn't mean an obligation to watch the video itself. Because there are ways to lift the spirit, the name, and the incident without sharing the trauma. And that's where all these things coalesced. where all the worlds collided. Because all of these violent stories, these violent pictures, these violent videos, shared for the best possible of reasons, right? To shock us into awareness, to galvanize us to action. They carry a great risk. When they are used too much, they can desensitize us into not caring, they can numb us into inaction, and they can make us feel angry and powerless. And as I think the last few years have taught all of us, there is very little more dangerous than people that feel angry and powerless. So that leads us to the million-dollar question, and one which this year's theme will, on some level, invite you, the 72-hour shootout filmmakers, to address. And that is how. How do we make people aware of the magnitude of the problem of, say, microaggressions? The microaggressions that Asian Americans, that Black Americans, that women, that LGBTQ people, that all underrepresented people deal with on the daily. Little aggression after little aggression after little aggression until it becomes one great collective trauma. How do we make people aware of that without desensitizing them? How? How do we galvanize people, incentivize them to action without causing more trauma? How do we address the need, the desire for peace without violence, without fear? Well, percolate on that. You have till 8 p.m. It's plenty of time. And now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you the woman of the hour, the coordinator of this year's shootout, the host of tonight's event. You all probably already know her as Film Lab's Unfinished Works coordinator. She is well known for her bold and unflinching questioning of the writers during the workshops. She is super smart, super kind, super creative. I'm so proud to work with her. Please give it up for Andy Lee.
Hi everyone, I just want to say thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited to be hosting the first live launch party since COVID. I mean, like, special shout out to Maze 32. I just wanted to say that, like, you guys still have time to register. If you haven't registered, I really recommend it because, like, you're gonna get to win all the prizes. And we also have special discounts from Tito's. Thank you. Special shout out to Tito's. And we also have a speed dating event. I know you guys want to, like, mingle and network with other people, so we're gonna be starting that in about, like, what time is it right now? What time is it right now?
Oh, what time is it? Hold on. 7:10.
7 to 11. We're gonna start in about like 5 minutes, about 5 minutes. Speed dating. I mean, like, I know it's not actually, you're not gonna find your partner, but like, it's basically speed dating. You're gonna get to know other people and stuff. Special shout out to Sundance too. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be hosting. This is my first launch party ever, so this is really exciting. I'm really, really, really happy that you guys all came here, especially with the AQI today. I know some of you guys didn't want to come because of the AQI. So really, thank you so much for coming here. Also, special shout out to like CAPA, New York State Council, New York Cultural Development Fund, Face Off, Asian Cinevision. I mean, there's a lot of sponsors that will be shouted out later. I know that you guys are all here, so yeah. Be prepared for the speed dating. We're going to start in about like 5-10 minutes, so thank you so much. Yeah.